I would be willing to bet $1 million that you would be lucky if 3 of them completed the steps.
Wow.
A lot of people, they start overthinking stuff. They get in their head. They start coming up with negative situations. They're like, oh, well, if it say do this, well, I'm gonna put this extra sauce on it. You know what I mean? To take it to the next level. Like, nah, just follow the instructions, right? Then you have a lot of people that are operating in like panic mode, or they feel like people are always trying to get over on them. So then that hinders them from being able to make connections. Then you have people that like literally, they just would rather spend their time talking about other people instead of working on themselves.
Wow.
You know, and then I feel like the most common is people that want to be victims. Like I've not met one person on the planet Earth that hasn't been through something. Every single one of us have gone through something. But you can choose and say like, okay, this is something that I'm going through. This is something I overcame. Like, look what I beat. Or you can cry all day and say, oh, it beat me. Like, what you gonna do?
In this episode, I sit down with my good friend, King Ashley Ann. She's the founder and CEO of Ashley Ann Events, and she's one of the leading business moguls and coaches in the country. She's helped about 800 people make 6-figure incomes, 159 people make $1 million years, 9 people make $1 million months, and 4 people hit $10 million in under a year. You need to pay attention. She's changing lives. In our conversation, we discuss how she built her international brand, as well as tips for getting started in entrepreneurship. You definitely want to grab your pen, your pad, your iPhone, your Android, whatever it is that you scribble with and take notes. You need to pay attention because we're giving away all the sauce in this episode. Tap in and let's hustle to the top. Ready? All right, so welcome to the Hustle to the Top podcast. This is a podcast all about unconventional routes to success. And of course, we can't get it popping without having a special guest, Miss Ashley Ann. You know what I'm saying? Yes, of course you. Can't get it popping without you on the episode and on the podcast. So, what a crazy weekend. Yeah. Right? We just finished Accelerate 180. So, I mean, how you feeling? Another one in the books? You good? I'm good, but I'm tired. Like, you know what I mean? If I keep it a buck, like, it's exciting because the event was successful. Yeah. But then, you know, managing all of that, you're like, man. How long does it take, like, to really produce one? The full production, like, we normally start probably about 9 months out. Okay. As far as, like, you know, trying to scout down your next location, where's everything going to fit. I'm lying. Let me back it up. Typically about a week after the Accelerate, we'll start pre-sales. We'll just do a random like, hey, we don't know where it's going to be in 2023, but just if you want to pull up, buy a ticket. So you'll get a lot of people, if they had a really good time the year before, they're actually going to purchase those tickets. So that's technically when it starts. Then we take, we let the audience vote and tell us where we're going the next year. Yeah. And then after that, then we start getting into like, okay, now we know where we're going. We got to find a location, see who can accommodate us, right? Yep. And you start working, you know, on all your sponsors, your decks, all that good stuff. And then I have to figure out what the theme is going to be. So that's how I get busy with the decor. Yeah. And so whatever I got to get manufactured, whatever has to be made. And then starting like the speaker selection, you know, like who we really like the year before, who didn't really do too well with the audience. Yep. What information is going to be relevant and current the next year. So it's a lot. And then leading up to the event, about a month before, we actually start working on all the inventory pools, all the sketches, trying to coordinate, right, like final stuff with all up, because, you know, I bring my own A/B team with me wherever I go. Yeah. So all those lights and trust and whatever else we got going on, trees, whatever else we got going on in there. And so as you can hear, this isn't like a normal person who's producing a conference. I mean, that's a perfect segue into like how you even got into this, right? Because a lot of people don't even know that you're the event planner, right? Yeah, luxury. I do all the over the top crazy events. You had trees in there, like I did, like 15-foot Japanese maple trees. Like, yo, this is insane. Like, everybody that saw, like, the preview or, I guess, like, the recap from last year, they're like, yo, this is different. Like, this isn't a normal business conference.
No, it's got to be different. Like, this is the thing. Like, the newer entrepreneurs and us in our generation, we are different. And I feel like you got to put people in a position where they expect more. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of the people that come into my community, when I first started, my audience was 90% women. Now it's more like 72% women, right? And like 28% men. And so a lot of us in our community, you know, sometimes we're like conditioned to accept less and not to expect more. And I have so many of the people that come to the conference, men and women, they're like, this is amazing to see a black woman doing this, to see this many black speakers up on stage that are successful. And they were like, I've never, and all of them say something, I've never been to anything like this. You know, I've spent however many thousands of dollars at all these other people's conferences, and they're like, and they still didn't treat me as well as you treated me. It still didn't look like this. It still wasn't this type of experience. So if we can use that and it sparks something in other people so that they expect more, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. I got to put on for us. Who else putting on for us?
Facts. That's how I felt.
I got to.
That's how I felt. Because I walked in, I'm like, yo, we're in a city that doesn't necessarily get this.
Yeah.
Right? You would think like, yeah, we're the third largest city or whatever, and like, you know, we have a lot of attention and entertainment, and it kind of feels like at times we don't highlight this type of, you know what I mean? This type of work, this type of excellence. It's like, yeah, you hear about the athletes and the celebrities and stuff like that, but like, this is amazing to see in the city, like, personally. So I know Atlanta was feeling some type of way.
Yeah, they was. They was because they lost last year. They was.
You know, you threw it out there, like, they were like, oh, okay, like,
yeah,
you gonna choose Houston?
And someone pulled up on me at the conference. They like, yeah, I live in Atlanta, but I still came. But they was like, you know, what's up with that? I was like, hey, you should have told some more people in the ATL to vote for Atlanta. Houston won. Like, it's fair.
Y'all got to pull up. Where y'all at? Where y'all at, Atlanta?
Where they at? And I'll say this, honestly, they get everything in Atlanta.
Everything.
Let somebody else have something. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to business, because honestly, Houston has like a really strong business population, and I feel like it's a lot of opportunity here for black people. It was one of the first cities I came to that, like, literally, if somebody was like, hey, this is what I do, let's work, let's get it let's make it happen, it actually happened. And so I feel like Houston, Charlotte, DC, of course Atlanta, you know, are really strong places for black entrepreneurs, especially young black entrepreneurs. So for me, it made sense that something like this should be in Houston, because over the years, anytime I've ever hosted something here, we've always, you know what I mean, knocked it out of the park here. So clearly there's a thirst here for people that are like, they want to elevate in their businesses, right? And finances, credit, personal development, all of that kind of stuff. So, you know, you gotta give people what they want.
You gotta give them what they want.
They said, this is what we want. I said,
feel me? You sell by listening.
You sell by listening every day, right? And they pulled up. You know, we sold out the hotel here, which is amazing. We sold out all the tickets for the event. You know, all of the sessions were super dope. So that was like, you know, over the top. So I was like,
all white party was crazy.
Yeah, the all white party was nuts. Like, it was lit. Like, it was going up. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Some of these people I don't have no idea who they were. I was like, what is going on? I was like, where did they? I was like, who are these people? I haven't seen any of them all weekend, right? But it's a lot of people, so it's not really possible.
Yeah.
But some in that party, some of them, I was like, yo, who are these people?
Right. Yo, it was lit. I'm not gonna lie. I found myself swag surfing at one point. I'm like, yo, this is wild, yo. And I just saw the recap clip. I'm like, yo, we were getting it.
We were. And the bar was beautiful.
Yeah, the bar was dope.
The bar was, man, it was gorgeous, outstanding, like super elevated, like the whole vibe, you know, is that everybody looked beautiful, everybody felt beautiful, like, you know, drinks were flowing, it was good vibes, a lot of good connections. And then even after, they was like, oh, we're going to have an after party in the lobby. So they was out there like 5 a.m, drinking, playing cards.
I'm like, yo, y'all are not stopping. That energy is crazy. Oh, but yo, so all right, let's backtrack real quick, because I mean, we talked about the conference and like how you brought everything that you could down here to produce this amazing event. But how did you even get started? You know what I mean? I think a lot of people don't even know like how you really got here. You know what I mean? A lot of people may have started with entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
But, you know, everybody sees the end result. But, like, how'd you really, you know what I mean?
So I, did the path. Everybody, go to school, get a job and a degree, and get your little house and live happily ever after. And it just, the math wasn't mathing. You know what I'm saying?
The math wasn't mathing.
The math was not mathing. I'm a very responsible person. Some people, they're just out here blowing their money. That's not what I was doing. Like, I was saving, I was trying to invest, I'd pay all my bills. Like, I was a responsible person. And it was frustrating to me that at the end of the month or every other week, after I'm working, 50, 60 hours a week for this company, like, I had like a little, you know what I'm saying? But not really enough to live the way that I wanted to live. Yeah. And at that time, I wasn't even trying to live the way I live now. Now, like, some people, they probably say I'm like a little lavish or whatever, but like, I just wanted to live like comfortably, in a nice neighborhood with a decent amount of space, be able to go on 2 or 3 vacations a year. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy. And I was like, dang, I really can't do it. And if I have like one large thing that happens, you know what I mean? I'm out of there. It's going to like wipe out my savings, or I got to start all over again. So I was like, I ain't really feeling this. And I'm sorry.
All right, so
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
My bad.
It's all good. All right, starting out, you graduated with like a finance degree, right?
Yeah, I got a bachelor's in finance. I have a master's in business, and I was working my corporate gig while I was going through my master's program. And so I had this professor, and he's like super serious. He makes us all do feasibility studies and all this stuff. And that's when I realized, I was like, this actually could be profitable on the event side, and this is what I like to do. So I was like, I figured out. You know what I mean? I was like, Daddy, I was like, what do you think if I do this? And my daddy was like, I think you should try. He's like, I was like, well, what if, I was nervous. I was like, what if I fail? What if I don't do well? He was like, don't you have 2 degrees? I was like, yeah. He was like, well, that's called life experience. And he was like, and someone will hire you with your 2 degrees.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So from graduation or while you're in your master's?
Well, I started Events by Ashley Ann, like, actually, while I was getting my master's degree. And then legalized in 2009. Like, how everybody do. You start a little business, you got a little hustle, you ain't got no paperwork on it. So I was doing my little hustle, but I was making a little money, and I was like, hey, I might need to do something with this. So I went and put my paperwork on it, and like that was that. And I still was working my corporate job. It took me 3 years to actually leave and go full-time into entrepreneurship.
Wow.
Yeah, so I know people that like, jump, leap, go do it, man. Trash.
Especially now.
That's trash advice. Like, it's really only like, I feel like 90, maybe 99 point. No, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say a 1/10 of a percentage point. I think God actually said, like, leave right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can plot and plan and lead successfully. So I prayed, asked God for a sign. After a couple years in, I booked a $165,000 client or something like that. So I was like, okay. I was like, it's time to be out of here. So I didn't renew my contract at that point, and that's when I went full-time into events, which the events design and production company, which is Events by Ashley Ann, is how I learned I was good at social media, because I was booking all of these clients. I was trying all the traditional stuff that they teach you, and it was not working. Like, it was very inconsistent and super expensive. So I went that route, and it worked. And then my colleagues started asking me, how was I booking all these clients? And so I would share and teach them. And then eventually people outside of the event industry started asking me, and they all had business coaches and stuff that they were paying thousands of dollars to every month. And I'm like, but you calling me every day. So like, ding, 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 I should have a consulting agency. And I did that, and we like started killing it, running ads for people and marketing campaigns and all that good stuff. And that was kind of that. And then like a few years in, people getting scammed. They doing those worldwide campaigns on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not cool. So I just started getting online. So I'm gonna teach for free. I was like, I just
teach for free.
That's how I started teaching for free. I had always been doing financial literacy stuff in my community for free, but online, that's how late night business ended up showing up. I was like, don't pay that. Like, I'll show you how to do this. And if you are going to pay somebody, this is how you know if they're really doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I don't know, I just kind of woke up one day. It's like 20,000 people following me. You know, they went in on the series and
at
stuff.
the time, you're still doing the events.
I still do the events to this day. I'm like, I've been doing events for like 16 years now. Got started when I was 21.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's just something like you can't.
I love it.
It's
you
like
got to get your creative fix in. But I will say this: I am in the process of transitioning out. Because it's a hard life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most people in and out of the event industry in like 10 years, so I'm like a dinosaur in event land. So I mean, if I got like a friend or family or a client or something to ask me, of course, we'll do corporate gigs. Corporate gigs pay a lot of money, but they're easy. But the social gigs that are like fun, like while you do all that crazy stuff like I had going on Accelerate this weekend. Like, that's where you get your creative fix. Like, it's hard work, but it's very satisfying because you're like, oh, man, this was in my head. Then it was on a piece of paper, and now you got people standing in it. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I was wondering. I'm like, yo, 6-figure client for events? Like, what kind of events were these? These, like, weddings? Like
weddings, bar and bat mitzvahs, sometimes you get like people doing anniversary parties for their parents, like maybe 50th, 60th anniversary.
Damn.
We would get milestone birthday parties too, like somebody's turned like 30 or 40 or something like that. But most of the big budgets, they were always either corporate events, like community parties, block parties, concerts, big conferences and stuff, or it was a wedding. Yeah.
Bridezillas.
Nah. Bridezillas come from being broke.
Oh, well, damn.
Let me tell you, you're going to be a bridezilla or groomzilla if you are broke and you're trying to demand things outside of your budget. And you can't afford them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My clients, like, they had the cash and they're like, this is what I like. And they were like pretty direct. And I was like, I can make that happen. Like, let's go.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, even I think the most challenging thing I ever had to get for a client was a cow. They needed a cow.
Hold on, you got to be kidding me.
No.
Did you get the cow?
Yeah, I got the cow. Yeah, I got the cow.
By any means.
By any means. I always tell my clients I can make anything happen as long as it's legal.
What? Yo, that is crazy. Wow. And so, long story short, you found a way to turn that into a whole different business model, which was the consulting.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't something I never woke up was like, oh, I want to be a marketing consultant, and I sure didn't think I was gonna end up with like the top, you know what I mean, like being one of the top strategists in the country. But it really for me was like, how can I help people? Because like this is the thing, a lot of people are like super talented, you know what I mean, but they may not have the resources that other people have. And so,
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, and I would go to these events and stuff, and it'd be like, what, 4 of us? You know what I'm saying? And the industry I'm in, like tech and more specific, like marketing, you know, and digital marketing, is pretty much dominated by white men. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there wasn't anybody that really looked like me, that sounded like me, and they sure enough were not paying attention to us. So I was just like, you know, I would keep hearing these stories every week about these people getting scammed. And so I was just like, you know, what do you do when you have like maxed out your credit cards, when you ran through your savings, when you cashed out your 401k, trying to invest in yourself and do the right thing, and somebody hustled you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't taking anything away from me, like helping other people. Like, I was like, hey, you pull up, you make it to class on time. Let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the time, my whole goal, as long as I got on before midnight, because my schedule is crazy now like it was then.
Yeah.
So it was no consistency. Sometimes I'd be on at 9. Sometimes I'd be on at, like, I literally would get on like 11:58 p.m. I was like, hey, y'all, class started.
Come get this game.
Come get it. But what was crazy about it, it ended up helping me build international clientele. Because even though it was late here in the States, and I would have a lot of people they stay up late for late night business.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't that late if you were in London. It was early in the afternoon if you were in Australia. So literally in the span of a year, I tripled like the profits that were coming into my company because I then had international clientele, like thanks to social media and the fact that I happened to be on late at night.
Wow. And this is all live streaming.
It's all live streaming.
Because I remember you were doing like what? Periscope, right?
Yeah.
This is before Instagram,
before Instagram and Facebook. Yeah.
Periscope. Yeah. And you were just like, brilliant idea. Let me just go live every night.
Every night.
Monday through Thursday.
I went live every night for like 3 years straight. I only missed, I think I missed like a week because I ended up getting pneumonia and bronchitis and I lost my voice. And so I took out for like 3 days or something. And then I can't remember, like it was something else weird happened and it was like a day. I couldn't go live. I went live every single day, like
for 3 years.
For 3 years, and it did not matter. Like we've been on family vacations, and like you go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys have to wait 20 minutes to be seated. Great. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna go out to the car and I'm gonna go stream. Like literally, I went live every day. Like that's why my audience, that's why my base is the way that they are. Like I showed up for them, so they always gonna show up for me.
Wow. And so, I mean, you always talk about lives. Like since I've known you, you've talked about lives, and it's like it's so hard to go live. Like for me, I mean, so
it's not like because it don't have to be long, Migos. Like you just like you can do a live in 10 or 15 minutes. You know what I mean? It's just really just like answering questions for your people, helping them solve problems, like trying to be a resource for them. That's it. Like
and anybody in any industry can do that.
Yeah, but you got the answers. Let's talk about you. I know.
I mean, I got some answers. You know what I'm saying? But look, all right. So this is what I know a lot of people want to know about is like, in your opinion, what's the best way to truly get started in like online business, right?
In online business,
because people like have side hustles or hobbies or you know what I mean, like they may do photography or videography, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, how do I really turn an online business out of this?
I would say the first thing is once you pick something that you like or that you're into, that's the first thing. Like, don't really go after quick money because you're not going to be able to sustain it. That's why you see all these little influencers online every day. Oh my God, I have to take a break. My mental health. Oh my God. Like, just be yourself and find something you like to do.
Yeah.
That other shit, it ain't gonna get to you. You know what I mean? Like that. So once you figure out something you like to do, now you need to figure out who you do it for. Like that's the other thing. Like people don't really think about product market fit in the digital space because I think they just think about that with like traditional business. But you have to have a product market fit no matter where you go. So you have to understand
product market fit.
Yeah, so like you have to make sure whatever your offer is, like whether it's a podcast, a book, a chicken sandwich, whatever it is, you gotta make sure somebody out there wants it, right?
Right.
And then on top of somebody wanting that, you also have to make sure that they can afford it. Then you gotta make sure that they see some type of value in it, right? Like you don't want to waste your time trying to convince people that what you got is valuable. You need to really be in front of people that already have some type of interest or some type of value in it. Then once you do that, well, how exactly do they want this? Like, do they want it in a box? Do they want it with a fox? You know what I'm saying? Like, what we got going on here? Yeah. So, because if you listen to people, they'll tell you, right? So, once you get that done, it's like, okay, now we got that out of the way. Now, here's my product. How do I find a way to sell or convert these people through a digital mechanism, right? And so, is that clicking a link in the bio? Is that, you know what I mean? Like, taking them to like some third-party site? Are you making a custom card? You letting them shop on Facebook and Instagram? Whatever that looks like for you, right? But you're going to figure that part out. Like you're going to choose what you want. And then from there, well, now I got to start creating content that correlates with my core offer. 80% of your content should correlate with your core offer.
80%.
80%, 20% is whatever you feel like. But if you trying to make money online, 80% it's got to correlate with that core offer.
Wow. And yes, people that's all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they be talking about fitness one day and Airbnb one day and like stock trading one day, and it's like it's so much information, but I guess it's hard because you see people like yourself, right, who have mastered one thing and then the next thing, and then you look 10 years, 16 years, you say, and now you're able to do real estate and do all this other stuff. Like,
but this is the thing on my social channels though, you don't really see me like I got. For instance, Instagram, I got an events page, and then I got the, King Ashley and all the social stuff, right? You don't really see me talking about a lot of the other stuff on there. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Now, on TikTok is not even branded like this is King Ashley Ann, or this is Events by Ashley Ann, or this is Auto Deloso. TikTok, I'm just on them like, hey, I'm a woman, I own a bunch of businesses, and this is that interests me. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm trying to level up my life, and if you want to level up with me, like, fool with me, right? Yeah. So on there, like, it's definitely like just, this is a day-to-day. So then you kind of get to see all of my different businesses and companies and, projects we're working on and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. But over there, people that's not all over the place. The brand is like, if you are an entrepreneur, right? Or if you want to figure out how to make money, you can it's a million ways to get it in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the 5 I'm using. And if you want to learn, I'm gonna put you on. So it's branded more of like Ashley Ann, the entrepreneur.
Right, but
that's there.
And on Instagram and Facebook, it's more of separating.
Is that like Facebook is like the event designer. My event clients, some of them know because they follow me outside of events, but they have no idea like how successful I am in the social media world. They have no clue. And then sometimes they'll find out and they're like, holy shit, they're like, I didn't know. And I'm like, oh, it's cool. Like, I don't want you to know. I'm marketing to you because I want your business for events. You know what I mean? And that's how I want you to know me. My people that book the luxury cars from us from Auto Deloso, they have no idea that I'm super successful in events and I'm super successful in social.
No clue.
You know what I'm saying? No clue. My real estate, I don't really, you know what I mean? If somebody asks me about it, of course I talk about it, but I don't have any pages set up for any of my real estate companies because it's passive income for me. I'm using that as a tax strategy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, do I have real estate? Yeah. Like, do I want to teach other people real estate? Nah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's what my man does. Like, hey, that's his thing. That's what he does. But he ain't gonna be over here teaching people social, you know what I'm saying, or events. So it's really like, I would say this, if you're a person with like a lot of talents or a lot of skills or you're diverse, I think you need to market them more of like you as an overall entrepreneur or business owner, or, you know what I mean? Like, whatever that looks like for you. But if you're like, oh, I'm a fitness instructor, now I do eyebrows, now I'm an interior decorator, and then 3 months later you're like, I fry chicken, I cabbage patch, I do the Running Man on my eyebrows. Yeah, you're not gonna make any money because people gonna be like, yo, like, she don't know what she doing and I don't know what she doing.
No, that's real.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And when people start to warm up to you, you change what you're doing, so then it's a wrap.
Right. Yeah, it's one of the things you mentioned. You mentioned on stage during Accelerate, you were saying something about like, I don't care if my friends or my family members don't like me talking about business or don't like me talking about social media. Yeah, like I'm gonna push this content out.
Right, you gonna get it. You gonna catch this.
You gonna catch this. Like, content is cash.
It is.
And I'm like, yo, it was a light bulb that hit. I'm like, dang, like so many of us overthink it, and it's like, I don't want my friends to be annoyed with me posting all the time, or you know what I mean?
But see, I feel like this is how I feel. I feel like if somebody is really your friend is gonna support you. It's not hurting them to see your post. It don't hurt them, you know what I mean, to like it. It don't hurt them to share it. And so I feel like if I'm your friend and I'm supporting you and whatever you got going on, I didn't even ask you to spend no money with me. You know what I mean? like then are you really my friend? You know what I mean? Do you really want to see me win? Because my friends, we with the ish. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even count how much money we've traded just from us buying each other's stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't go to my friends and ask for something for free. No, I love you. I support you. I know this how you making your money. So I'm going to purchase from you. Now, if you give me a discount, hey, great, turn up, hey, you know what I mean? But I would never go to one of my friends and ask them for something for free if I know there's something they're trying to establish as a business. And I definitely, if you putting up a post, I'm liking. You know what I mean? I'm coming.
Yeah.
Let me share it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know somebody that knows, hey, let me connect y'all together, to get this done. So I think you have to look at your circle, because there's a lot of power in proximity. You got to look at your circle if you're trying to go into entrepreneurship and you got a bunch of people around you not supporting you. Like, them probably some people you don't really need to be around anyway.
Facts. Yo, that's a big one. Because I'm thinking like, yo, how do you even create that circle? You know what I'm saying? Because you're from Arkansas.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, yo, how did you even build this network of people? Like, yo, the speakers you had on stage this weekend, I'm like, yo, these are some big movers and shakers. Like, these ain't no regular little, you know what I'm saying? Instagram influencers. Like, these are people like multi-millionaires, like super successful. Like, how did you even, like, what's the best way to build that network?
Okay, I'm going to say this, and for everybody in a big city, I'm going to say this right now, I'm going on record. You're trash for not taking advantage of what you got in front of you. Because y'all got so much more opportunity than people like, me that come out the country. We ain't got all that there, right?
Yeah.
So, and if you're in the country or a small city, like, you got to go to your opportunity. You can't be sitting there waiting on it to come to you. Like, how bad do you really want it? You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to go. You got to meet new people. You got to go some places sometimes by yourself, without your friends, without your family, without your man or whoever. Like, sometimes you got to dip out, and you're going to have to find other people who not necessarily have common interests, but they're interested in succeeding. Like, that's where your commonality should be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I look for people like you and I, right? When we first met, right? I was like...
That's crazy in itself.
Yeah, like, right? But, like, I came to an event because I wanted to learn more about PR. Ain't nobody teaching PR on the level I wanted to know, not at home.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, shoot, let me get on down here and see what's happening. You know what I mean? So, like, literally going outside, and I feel like if you're going to events where people are there to improve themselves, right, whether it's financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, like whatever, just if someone's trying to improve themselves in some way, you're probably going to find someone else that you're aligned with, because now you got a group of people, y'all are all trying to improve, right? That's really what you want at the end of the day. I don't know anybody that's successful that doesn't work on trying to improve in some way, like daily.
That's real. And then you got to be in the room, right? You got
to.
Because people are like, oh, I can get all of this late night biz.
Yeah.
At 11:59. I don't got to come to Accelerate, but just seeing
But it ain't the same.
It ain't the same.
And all of the people that were here, they were like, oh my God. They were like, I should have been coming here sooner. They were like, it's different when you hear it. I'm like, it's all we've been trying to tell y'all.
Yeah.
Energy is real. People don't value face-to-face interactions the way that they should. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you could have seen me on the internet or whatever, but like we were able to connect and be like, okay, like, hey, like you know what I mean? Like I like him, he like me. Like, yeah, it's different because like in when you're in person, you can feel somebody's energy. You can flush them out way better than you can online.
Yeah, that's facts. Like, it's people that I met this weekend that like I've been following, and they've been following me for years now, it feels like, right?
Yeah.
Like Terry.
Yeah.
Like Terry, both Terry and Abu.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, like, I feel like I know y'all, and vice versa, but like just being in person, that's completely different. Like, now it's like, yo, like, I really do know you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and who knows what can span from that, right? But you got to be in the room.
I think being in the room, and also, I'm going to say this, having good energy. And I'm not talking about fake good energy. I mean, like, having good energy. A lot of times people tell me, they were like, man, they're like, it's something about your energy drew me to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I really try and work on being as, like, not to the point like toxic positivity, but I'm a pretty positive person. I'm definitely a glass half full type of girl.
Yeah.
And I have like my own little routine, I do to make sure my vibrations are up. And if I feel like somebody's an energy vampire or, just kind of super negative, I ain't gonna really spend too much time. I'm not finna go back and forth with you. I'm move around. Now when I was younger, they could have caught it.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, the way you handle trolls, like, I don't know if you still on that, but like, the whole kingdom,
I'm still on
the whole
with the trolls now.
will check them, bro. Like,
that's
they'll be
entertainment.
Like, yo, it's like, it feel like the beehive. I'm like, yo, this is different. It's a different, you got community, like, and they really ride for you, like, yo, trolls, y'all better watch out. Get out of there.
Yeah. So I would say, but yeah, you got to get in the room. You need to have positive energy, and you got to be willing to like walk up and introduce yourself or meet other people. I don't know if it's ego or if it's fear with some people. It's probably half and half. Some people, they're just, they afraid of their own shadow. You know what I mean? And then you have some people, though, it's an ego thing. They're like, I'm such and such. Now they need to come approach me. Now they need to talk to me. Man, whatever.
It's like, a lot of that.
Yeah, I like making friends. So, yeah, unless I feel like your energy off, then I ain't going to say, I'm going to move around.
That's real. Yo, so what do you think, because you mentioned that, right? Like energy and people having ego.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think really holds people back, like, the most?
The most?
In business, like, actually going for it.
Mindset. 100%. 100%. This is the thing. Somebody could give you a playbook. They could like literally put it on the table and say, just do step by step by step, and you're going to make $1 million tomorrow. If they did that for 100 people, I would be willing to bet $1 million that you would be lucky if 3 of them completed the steps.
Wow.
A lot of people, they start overthinking stuff. They get in their head. They start coming up with negative situations. They're like, oh, well, if it say do this, well, I'm going to put this extra sauce on it. You know what I mean? To take it to the next level. Like, nah, just follow the instructions, right? Then you have a lot of people that are operating in like panic mode, or they feel like people are always trying to get over on them. So then that hinders them from being able to make connections. Then you have people that like literally, they just would rather spend their time talking about other people instead of working on themselves.
Wow.
And then I feel like the most common is people that want to be victims. Like I've not met one person on the planet Earth that hasn't been through something. Every single one of us have gone through something. But you can choose and say like, okay, this is something that I'm going through. This is something I overcame. Like, look what I beat. Or you can cry all day and say, oh, it beat me. Like, what you gonna do? That, you know what I mean? I would much rather be the victor than a victim.
Facts.
Ain't nowhere where it say to the victim goes the spoils. It says to the victor goes the spoils. I want the spoils. I want the cash. I want the house. I want the peace. You know what I mean? I want the love. I want the travel. You know what I mean? I want the happiness. I want the good friends. And I want all of that. Yes, I'm trying to be the victor. I want to be victorious like every day when I get up. So if you have the mentality that it's always someone else, you're not going to make it too far in life. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you tell yourself you can't do something because it's challenging, you ain't going to really make it. You know what I mean? If you can't be consistent or persistent, you ain't going to make it. You know what I mean?
Facts.
If you feel like you can't be taught anything else, you ain't going to make it. Like every day I get up trying to learn something from somebody else.
Wow.
Every
Still
day.
to this day.
To this day. Like, I'm going to do that until God tell me it's time to check up out the planet Earth. Because I really feel like every day you can learn something from somebody. And I don't feel like they have to make more money than me, you know what I mean? I have a higher position than me for me to learn from them.
That's deep. You know what's crazy? Like, in a lot of your programs, you pop it off with mindset.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. In the past, I've looked at it and I'm like, man, let me get to the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Let me build out this tier 1 funnel, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That she's cold at, and let me build out my lead pages, my landing pages, all of that. And I never realized how important mindset is. You know what I mean? Like you could have all the tools, all the knowledge, all the information, and still not get it.
You're not gonna get it. It's like, let me tell you this. It's really funny because people are so obsessed with like kind of like some of these pieces of paper, documents and stuff like that, right? Because I think about how many people I know, and it's gonna sound bad, I'm not trying to poo-poo on formal education. I mean, clearly I have 2 degrees, right? But I know so many people that have no degrees. They did not finish college, and all the people with degrees working for them.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Because they had a mindset, you know what I mean, and something else inside of them to drive them, and they had the ability to see and think outside of the box. Those degrees, a piece of paper, just mean you're good at taking tests and you're good at taking order. It doesn't mean that you're good at creating. It means you're good at consuming.
Mm.
You know, you picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah.
So when you really think about it like that, you know what I'm saying? Like that in your mind, what you're telling yourself you can do and what you can have, and how you can take a situation and be like, okay, I learned from this, or I use this to propel me. That's really what makes the difference. Like, I've seen people that have so many gifts and so many talents, but they waste them. And I've seen somebody that can only do like this one little teeny tiny thing, but they gonna work that one little teeny tiny thing. You know what I mean? All the way up to the top floor and all the way to the bank.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's whatever be going on mentally with you.
That's a bar. Like, yo, it's because a lot of the times, I'm not gonna lie, like I'll look at it and I'm like, yo, these people are not that cold.
No.
But they just, it's like you said, consistency. That's
it.
And then it just.
That's it. Something happens when you're working, and I don't know. It's probably like 2 or 3 different universal laws that are working together, I think, when this happens. And they kind of all conspire and like, boom. So it's like one day you're working and you put in 1,000 hours of labor, and you may get like, 10 hours of results. Then it drops to you put in 100 hours of labor, and you got your 10 hours of results, right? But still less. Then one day it's 10 hours of labor, you get 10 hours of results. Then all of a sudden one day it's 1 hour of labor and you got 100 hours of results, right? Because you put in all of that time and you got all the experience and all that learning. So it flips. So like now, I remember back in the day, let's say I wanted to make $12,000, right? Back in the day, I had to work like 3 months out of the year to get to that $12,000, right? Mm-hmm. Now I open my mouth and I talk for 20 minutes, or I send an email and I send a text, and $12,000 comes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do a webinar for 4 hours. I make 120, 130 bands.
Blink.
Blink. You know what I mean? But before, I used to have to work a whole year, you know what I mean, to get to that. So there is power in being consistent, and persistent on a regular basis. There's an outstanding power in it. I feel like people don't really understand that their huge successes are really just a sum total of like little teeny tiny consistencies.
That's a...
Is that power and consistency? And I feel like proximity and accountability. Like if I had to pick 3 things in life.
That's it. Those are 3.
Accountability, proximity, consistency.
Accountability, proximity, and consistency.
Yeah, most people don't.
Sheesh.
Most people don't want to be accountable for nothing.
You're right.
It's always somebody else, right? And they only see accountability in a negative light. Like accountability it goes both ways. When things go well in your life, you assess that and you're accountable for this is something positive that happened, right?
Yeah.
Then if it's something that didn't really go the way you wanted to, okay, what could I have done to alter that or shift that or put myself in a better situation? And if you do that, you're not going to get stuck in a cycle. Most people are stuck in cycles because they don't want to take accountability.
Wow.
So now it keeps coming back, right? The same thing keeps coming back over and over and over and over and over and 10,000 times over again, and they still struggling. Compared to people that take accountability, think about it, they don't really stay stagnant.
Right. It's just like, all right, this didn't work.
Yeah, we move fast. We just feel like, all right, this didn't work. This is what I did. This is my notes. All right, boom. Like, I'm not going to do that again. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or if it was good, I'm going to do that again, right?
Right.
So then you couple that with consistency. You can't really do nothing but win. Then you put proximity in there. But now what you were doing by yourself, right, it's like superpowered. It's supercharged. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's to the max. So when you really, like, look at it like that, it's OV, because on the proximity dog, it gets you on the other side. You hook yourself to the wrong person, hit your start to the wrong wagon.
It go both ways.
Boy, you're gonna be in the mud before you know it. You got to get that circle right. You know what I mean? You got to have people that are focused on like what they doing in life instead of trying to bring other people down.
And there's so much negativity, like just naturally. You know what I mean? Like all the gossip pages and all of that stuff.
And people love it.
Yeah, you get stuck in that algorithm if you look at it long enough. Yeah, your whole feed gonna look like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know a lot of people are also complaining about like the algorithm, right? That's a great segue. Yeah. And like everybody complain, I don't want to do videos and I like my pictures and you know what I mean? Like Kim K and all of them complaining and stuff. But what's your opinion on like the algorithm changes and then like you got TikTok popping up and I think it's always something new, right? So like what do you think about that?
Build your list.
Build your list.
Build a list algorithm.
Oh, we can't bleep that out.
I didn't say it. I alluded to it.
So build your list.
Yeah,
build your list.
Build your list. Like at the end of the day,
both email and text.
Email and text. At the end of the day, there's always going to be some type of changes. You know what I mean? That anytime they do any updates, it sends everything crazy anyway. And because IG is so obsessed with TikTok right now.
Yo.
It's wild, but because they're so obsessed with TikTok right now, you know, they feel like if they highlight smaller creators, that it's going to make more people stay. But it's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's not working. And I personally don't think TikTok is going anywhere anytime soon.
Right.
So
you got to build your list.
So you got to build your list because this is the thing. I do believe TikTok is going to dominate for quite a while. And then there's going to be something that's going to dethrone it. Like, it's always going to be some other platform, some other channel, right? Some other thing. I don't think Facebook and Instagram are going into the abyss like tomorrow. But I honestly think, too, that they are making a mistake and not listening to what their audience is telling them. You know,
people are fed up.
They're fed up. They're tired of it. Like and I tell people like this is their business model. It's always been that. Yeah. They come in and they consume other stuff, and if they can't get that platform to sell to them, then they're gonna try to recreate it. Right. Mm-hmm. That's how we ended up getting we got stories because of right.
Yo, Snapchat was popping too before that.
Yeah, we got stories because of Snapchat. The whole premises of us getting video on IG in general was because of Vine. You remember that?
Yeah, Vine.
You remember that because of Vine. Then Periscope was out here like taking a big chunk of their market share because everybody's on Periscope. And then they finally gave everybody, all us regular people, the ability to stream on Facebook and Instagram. Because people don't know, like, you could stream on Facebook and Instagram back then, but you had to be a celebrity or either like a really high profile person or a politician. So, yeah. And then once Periscope got super popular, then they gave everybody the ability, you know what I mean, to stream. Then I feel like it was something else in between Periscope and Snapchat that they consumed. You know what I mean? That they were like, oh, we're going to create a version of it. Yeah. And so then Reels came, right, because of TikTok. But Reels ain't really hitting people like, nah. They're like, right? And they're like, we just going to take these TikToks and repost them.
Literally, that's all people are doing. They're like, yo, let me repurpose.
Repost them on Instagram.
So the key is to regardless of what happens and what social media is.
Build a list.
Build a list.
This is the thing. Most of us people that make a lot of money on social media, we have lists. Like, we use social media for awareness primarily. I just want to meet you. I want you to know what I'm doing. We can build a relationship together, but I really want you to come into my private community. You know, outside of brand and, you know, brand deals and stuff like that. But outside of that, most of us that have like any other type of offer, we make it most of our money when we send an email or send a text.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like most like high level online business folks, like you don't even see them sell that much. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more about building that list. Like, yo, you know, here's this freebie, here's this low ticket, tripwire, whatever. But you never see them selling like the biggest course that they offer on a daily. It's just like,
no.
That's crazy though.
No, I think I probably only sell Instacoin online maybe like my birthday and Black Friday.
Otherwise, people don't even know about it.
Nope, they don't.
That's crazy. So,
but I make millions of dollars right now.
like, yo, this, and that's off the tier 1 funnel, right? And so this lead magnet or this list builder, right? What do you like? How do you create one? Like, what's the?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
This your baby right here.
Okay,
so
this is how we get to the money, y'all. Out here in these social media streets. First of all, you do not have to have a website
at all.
There's no.
Wow.
No, we don't need a website. Not social media land. Websites do not make you money. Now, let me say this: if you want to go up for if you want to have corporate credit, like you want to get a business, credit card or like a line or something like that, you're going to need a website eventually because the bank going to go out and they're going to look for.
So for credit, of course.
Yeah, for credit.
Business credit.
Because it's like 13, 14 key things that they look for when they're going to say, oh, we're going to give your business money, right?
Right.
But that's that on that side. But as far as like getting someone to buy your stuff online, no, you don't need a website. What you need is a tree. You need a link tree. You have to have some type of email, auto subscription, and you're gonna need landing page software. That's what you need to get started with. Oh, and of course you need an offer.
you need something.
You need something to sell. You do need something to sell. You need some type of payment processor. That could be PayPal, Stripe, Authorize.net, just whatever you feel like using. And you're gonna need some type of CRM. Or like an email automation system. So that's what you need. And so basically you create whatever the products are you want to sell. And you're going to attach it to your PayPal or to your Stripe so that people can swipe a card. Well, they won't swipe, they go click, click, clack on the keyboard so they can get it in. Then you're going to figure out what your from that core product, you're going to build it's called a lead magnet or freebie. This could be an ebook, a coupon, a guide, a cheat sheet, whatever you want it to be. If you want to look pretty, you're going to put it in Canva. Canva's free, and you're going to format it. Then you're going to download it and save it. Then you're going to go to your email autoresponder, and you're going to make your welcome email. You're going to say, hey, when people sign up to get my free thing, send them this download or ebook. And then you're going to need some graphics. You're going to go back to free Canva. You're going to make some graphics.
Yeah.
So then what's going to happen is once you get that done, you're going to take the links and you're going to put them in your tree. You're going to take the overall URL from the link tree and put that in your bio on social media.
Yeah.
So then what happens is you're going to make your social media posts. You're going to tell people to click the link in your bio. They're going to click it. They're going to get your free thing. They're going to end up on a page called an opt-in page. You built that on your landing page software. They're going to put in their name and their email or their phone number, however you got that set up. They're going to get redirected to a confirmation page. It's going to have a video of you on there saying, thank you so much for getting my free gift. You're going to give them 2 or 3 helpful tips. And you're going to say, if you want to know more or when you're ready to get to the next step, check out this dope offer I have below. And then you're
selling immediately.
Yeah, I sell immediately. I don't believe in that 5, 6 email stuff. I'm selling immediately off the rip. And it's somewhere in between 20 to 30% of people, they buy it.
Really?
Yes. So we get
that's heat.
So we get the tripwire, that little paid offer on there. They buy the paid offer. Now, simultaneously, they got an email when they got redirected to that confirmation page. So then they get my email that says, hey, boo, hey, welcome to the kingdom. Here's whatever you were looking for the free $99. And also, when you're ready to go to the next tier, here's another product for you right here, right in the email. All you got to do is click that link. Bada boom, bada bang, okay? Now, I'm then going to reinforce, I'm going to send you an email the next day. Then I'm going to send you an email 3 days later. Then I'm going to send you another email 7 days later. It's all going to have helpful information and tips pertaining to whatever you sign up for on that lead magnet. And every other one of those is going to have a paid offer inside of it.
Wow. So not only just sending them an email telling them to buy something.
Yeah. You got to put the value in there.
You put the value in the email.
Yeah.
And then...
Yep. And then I'm going to send you a text and say, hey, I sent you an email. Go look at it.
Oh, my God. Because I'm like, I don't check emails. So, the whole text list thing is...
I text. I I probably text my Kingdom members like at least 4 times a week.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And open rates got to be crazy.
They are. They are.
Damn. Yo, that's and so with the tier 1 funnel, is that what got? I saw you posted on your TikTok that someone made like 23K or 22K or something like that.
So I have a strategy that's called where I show my clients how to make 100K in a day, and so that's the strategy she was using. So it's a little bit more complex. It's a little bit more advanced.
But it
works.
That's like Instacoin.
Yeah, but it works out.
That's big bag talk.
Yeah.
23. How fast did she do it?
23,000 in 23 minutes.
Oh my God. You saw it? My bad. That is crazy. I was scrolling on TikTok. I was like, Ashley.
I think that's my favorite thing though about what I do because it can be replicated. You know what I mean? Like, because some people, like, they can only make something work for them. You know what I'm saying? I can get stuff to work for me and for my clients. So that's the funnest part is like watching other people pick it up and go do something with it.
Yeah, real quick. What are the stats? Because they need to hear this. What are the stats?
So I've helped almost 800 people create 6-figure incomes. 159 of my clients have now made $1 million in under a year. I have 9 clients that have had $1 million months, and I have 4 clients that are earning over $10 million a year.
Stop playing, man. Stop playing with her.
They're trying to play me in these streets.
Stop it. Just cut it out.
I always joke. I'm like, yeah, I'm your coach's favorite coach. I'm like the one behind the curtain.
For real. Yeah. Yo, that is.
And it's funny because after people come clients, they're like, they can tell. They're like, oh no, I know they worked with you. Like I can tell now. They're like, I said, I'm like, yeah. So yeah, I just be out there chilling in the trees in Arkansas, playing in my garden.
You know what I mean? Big on the gardening.
Watching the hummingbirds and stuff, collect my checks. help my clients collect their checks.
Enjoy.
Yeah, we just finished Diamond Day. Like all of us were together for a long time today.
Yo, I mean, my bad. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's okay. I love it.
Last question. Being a successful businesswoman.
Yeah.
And like finding the perfect partner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a big thing that a lot of successful women want to know about. Like how does that happen? You know what I mean? Because I'm sure you got a lot of successful friends. I know we've talked about it in the past. But like how does that work? Is it manifestation?
Yeah.
Like did you just
It's definitely manifestation for sure. And a lot of working on yourself. And oh gosh, I don't want to make the girlies mad, but shoot, I'm gonna keep it funky.
Right, yeah, keep it real.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
They need to hear it.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. So a lot of women that are very powerful women and super successful, you're used to winning and you're used to getting things like the way that you want them, right? And so you want this guy that's going to be super successful, right, and a super strong man. Well, I don't know if some of them may never grew up around men that are like that, right? My dad is a very strong guy. Like, that man they ain't taking that ish. You know what I'm saying? So that's number one. Like, you're going to have to respect, like, his boundaries and his fresh and his mindset. And I'm not saying dumb yourself down. I don't want anybody to take it like that. But you need to respect, you know what I mean? Like, there's just like a certain tone and a certain way that men do things. It's different than the way women do things. And so you can't treat your partner like your employee.
Ooh wee.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that. Like you can't come in like guns blazing on this man, whoever he is. So I would say like really working on yourself has a lot to do with being able to manifest that man. And sometimes I don't think that very powerful women realize that. I don't think that they realize all the time that they're not creating space for a man, right, to be there in their lives, if that makes sense. That's the best way.
You gotta elaborate on that, because I heard you talk about this before the manifestation occurred. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I remember hearing you talk about making space for a man.
Yeah, I literally did. Like, so this is the thing. If you're like super busy all the time, like, when are you going to have time to date this man? When are you going to have time to build a relationship with him? When are you going to have time to spend time with him? Like, how is that going to work? Like, what you do? You're like, oh, yeah, I got a man now. You going to throw him in the corner and give him a sandwich? Like, how does this work? So a lot of girls are, like, so busy. They don't have time to date. They don't have time to develop a relationship. You know what I mean? They don't even really have time to know what they want. They're going off of what people on the internet telling them that they want.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Then the next thing, like, what do you really want in a partner? Like, I don't think a lot of girls really know what they want in a partner. Again, they're going off of what people on the internet are telling them that they should want or that they should be looking for, not really who's a good partner for them. And then also, as a woman, you have to assess, well, what do I have to offer this man, right? If I want God's best, right? Everybody out here trying to get the top 10% of men, right?
Yeah.
And like, that's what everybody going at.
Cream of the crowd.
Right. Now I know everybody be like, oh, you gotta be over 6 foot tall. Now I know a lot of women with shorter doo-wops. They ain't really worried about that. But when you think about, like, okay, you want a guy with good credit. You want a guy that's 6-figure earner or above, right? You want a guy that takes care of himself. You want a guy with good interpersonal skills. You want a dude he's good at maintaining relationships, right? So he's like a good friend. He's a good son. He's a good, brother, or whatever role he plays inside of those people's life. You want a man that's supportive. You want a guy that's a boss too. Like, we're going down these streets, and you want him to be handsome and still have his hairline and all this, right? So, not saying he's not out there, because he is. You know what I mean? They out there every day. I meet them. But, like, this guy is, like, top tier. So, like, you have to ask yourself, am I a top tier girl? And I don't mean that, and I'm not talking about, like, what's your dress size, like, none of that BS, because that don't make you top tier.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a million pretty faces. It's a million girls with big butts, and now everybody running around here getting their body done. Like, so that ain't even unique. That's no more. Yeah. You know what I mean? Back in the day, they used to be like, nope, it's everywhere now. So you can't compete with just that. Like, am I really a top tier human being? And, like, what do I have to offer in a relationship? I'm requesting all of this, but, like, what do I have to offer? Well, if this guy is like one of God's best specimens, right? And you like, I want that. Why would God take his best and not pair it with his best in a woman?
Right.
Make it make sense. And so I feel like for women, and this is why I say because sometimes girls get offended when I say this, and I don't mean it to be offensive. This is just how I feel. I don't feel that you should be requesting anything of a man that you're not. I think it's very interesting. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you want a man that makes 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, but you have trash credit because you have poor money management skills.
Oof.
You gonna get with this man that messes money up? You see what I'm saying? Like, nah, you're supposed to be an asset. I'm not saying as a woman you gotta have 7, 8 figures, but you should be able to be an asset. He should be able to trust you. You should be able to hold it down. You know what I mean? Like, you want a man that's friendly and supportive, but you got a bad attitude.
It's got to be like equally.
You got a bad attitude and you argumentative. These types of men and women, like, we're high performing people. Like, I gotta be in a situation where it's like copacetic. And I'm not saying every day is gonna be sunshine and flowers, but the majority of our time, it should not be attitudes and bickering and fighting and all this. And if you feel like that's what you gotta be with that person, guess what? You're not aligned with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want, like, everybody should be everybody's piece. This is not you know what I mean? This is not, but, like, all the time somebody got to deal with you rolling your eyes and sucking your teeth and cussing them out and, going through their phone and tripping over crazy stuff. That man can't focus. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand, you want a man that's successful like that, especially if he a young guy. Oh, he busy, baby. You better have a hobby. You better have a job. Like, I'm just saying, you can't be sitting around asking this man to text you and call you all the time, but you want a man to make money. Men that make money go out and hustle. And when they're younger, a lot of y'all work nonstop. I told you before, you may be the only person I've ever met in my life that outworks me. Possibly you're not. I don't know any young man that makes that type of money that's not working all the time. So how are you going to say you want this as a woman, but then you're going to complain he don't spend enough time with you? You see what I'm saying? You have to make it make sense. So I feel like a lot of women need to really look at, like, what do I really want in a relationship? And then what can I really offer? If this is the type of man that I want, outside of me being pretty, you know what I mean? What can I really offer this guy? Like, am I a nurturer? Am I a safe space for him? Do I offer him some level of peace? Do I naturally want to do kind things for him? You know what I mean? Like, because somewhere I'm like, okay, I remember this girl going off about fixing a plate.
What?
Yeah, you know, I'm Southern.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Are we out there?
We out there.
No. Is it still recording, the audio?
Yep.
All right, so I don't need the story.
Okay.
So she went off about fixing the plate?
Yeah, so you know I'm a Southern belle.
Yeah.
Yep. You looking for the house ones? It's on this little dimmer glide thing next to the thermostat.
I need to hear this story.
Okay.
She really got upset.
She got upset. You know, people ask questions, they do this, do that. And I'm not fixing no man plate. I'm not a maid. I'm not this, I'm not that. And I'm like, why you don't want to fix your man a plate? And she looked at me like she was shocked. She's like, I'm not the maid. That's the meaning. I'm not his mama. I mean, but why did you just don't want to be nice to somebody that's nice to you?
Right.
Is he mean to you? Like, why are you so tight about fixing his plate? And then because I'm Southern in the South, you don't do that. You don't fix nobody else's man a plate. You get slapped. That's you know what I mean? That's my job. I take care of my man. I don't need you to do that for me, right? So, and I think she was surprised that as progressive as I am in business, as much money as I make, no, actually, I like fixing cord plates. I like cooking for him. Like, we both like doing nice things for one another. It's just natural. It doesn't bother me. I don't feel like I'm being demeaned or I'm less than because I'm nice to my man. Like, what's the issue? You know what I mean? And I was like, people online have people wilding out.
Yeah, it's the city girls, man. It's the city girls where we live in right now.
Let me tell you this. City girls don't get kept around. It may be fun. It may be fun, like right then and there. But like, city girls not long term. City girls a fun girl.
That's it.
You fun. It's cute. It's an exciting ride, but it's not long term. Like.
No.
I don't know any guys that like, they be like, yeah, like that's what I want in my life forever. That's the one.
You never hear that.
It's not. Now a city girl, you may be a baddie, you know what I mean? You may be fine and all that kind of stuff, but it's gonna be momentary. And at the end of the day, like all these girls are like, I want to be a city girl or a bad B, but yet they stay getting cheated on. They, you know what I mean? They stay having a fight over something. They stay having that, like, why you want to do that? Like, I just want to be a nice regular lady. I just want to be a nice regular girl. Like, all the women I know, like, regular women that's not out here trying to do all this stuff, they're, like, actually happily married to, like, great guys that take care of them and love them. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it's honor in having a family. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
You know, what was it? You did the Lovepreneur. No, what is it?
The Love and Money panel?
Love and Money panel. Yeah. There's a couple, the Lovepreneurs.
Yeah, there were a couple on the panel.
So I saw on his Instagram, he said something about like, you have to question who you're partnering with and who you're doing business with by the way that they treat their partner. Yeah, their significant other, and I was like, I believe
that too.
That kind of hit hard. I was like, oh shit.
I do believe that because you got to think about it. This is a person that they stood before God and made a covenant with. They stood in front of their family and their friends, and they said, "I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna protect you. I'm gonna take care of you." This is whoever the spouse is. Typically, like. That's who's gonna hold you down. You know what I mean? The most when ain't nothing, nobody else around. That's this person. So if this is the person that's done all that for you, and you shitting on them, like, what you willing to do to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you really ain't got no love. You really ain't looking out for your partner. I know you're not. I know I'm not above your spouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what are you really gonna do to me? So yeah, I agree. Like, I look at that, I'm like, you willing to go in on somebody that got your back like that? Nah, dog. I don't hang out with girls that cheat on their men and stuff. I don't want to be around none of that.
That's real. Mm-mm. Well, look, we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to do that. That's a series. Okay, yeah. That's a series. We're gonna have to talk more on that. But yo, I appreciate you, Ashley, for everything as always. You know what I'm saying? You always hold it down. I know you just did a whole Diamond Day.
Yes, Diamond Day.
They look lit. Like they ready to run it up. I'm like, yo, y'all are. I don't know how y'all are doing it after this whole day of.
It's the energy, like you said earlier. You know what I mean? It's transferable. People are excited. This is, Yeah. It is what it is. But like, you catch me like Thursday, I'm gonna be out of there.
I already know. I appreciate you as always. Tell everybody where they can follow you, where they need to connect with you, where they need to get on your list, all of that.
Look, are you looking here? Are you looking there? I'm at King Ashley Ann. Okay, like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all that. KingAshleyAnn. And if you want to come to these free trainings, join the Commas Club. I don't ask you for no credit card information or anything. It takes the word commas with a K, so KOMMAS to 501-285-8966. And make sure you be like, hey, Miko sent me.
Yeah. Hey, make sure you let her know that you pulled up from the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Pull up on it.
Pull up.